Hi, everyone. I'm Marty Gould Cummings. My pronouns are they, them, theirs, and I am so excited to be here tonight. Welcome to the LGBT Bar of New York's 2021 Virtual Gala, affectionately called LeGaL. Thank you to all of our members, our supporters, firms, sponsors, and patrons for your commitment to improving equality and justice in and through the legal profession. Okay, so I know we all remember last year, we were packing up Cipriani's Wall Street. We had over 750 of our closest friends. So thank you everybody who came to that. I know this year looks a little different, but we are still visible and our enthusiasm is still high from our living rooms, okay? We have a fantastic program for you tonight. I'm so excited for this evening. You're going to hear from some of the leaders of the organization, from really special guest stars and performers and electeds. And at 6:30, we are going to open up the networking area on our virtual platform called Remo so that you can mingle with each other during the program until 7:30. You're going to be able to talk face to face with queer lawyer avatars. Work. So grab a cocktail. And if you don't have a networking pass, they're only $25. So all you have to do is text. I know y'all have your phone in your hand. All you have to do is text donate $25, $50, $100 and more by using the text number below. You'll receive the link to join us in the thank you. Every dollar counts. The LGBT Bar of New York serves thousands of LGBT low-income New Yorkers by meeting their legal needs. We could not do this without our volunteer lawyers, without the financial support from all of you, which is so critical. And if you give at the $100 level or above, you will receive this very gorgeous, very good, very deluxe goodie bag. What? Can you believe look how cute. You guys, look. It's tax deductible. Ooh. That's good for going to the market, okay? So make sure you donate and get your goodies bag. All right, speaking of money, thank you to our silver, gold, and platinum sponsors tonight. These law firms continue to give generously to us each and every year. And remember, this is also a party, so we have a lot to celebrate. We have a new president. Boom! Yes, a new administration, a pro-equality majority in Congress, which just today the House, so y'all know this is live, okay? Just today, the House passed the Equality Act. The House, say it with me at home. The House passed the Equality Act. The House passed the Equality Act. So while you're watching this, also make sure you're messaging your senator so we can get it through there too, okay? So with the help of the LGBT Bar of New York, we have achieved so many major victories right here in New York, including protections for LGBT families after the Child Parent Security Act went into effect this month. Together, we helped improve data collection on LGBT judges, and we finally replaced, with the help of our leaders within the trans community, we finally repealed the so-called walking while trans ban, which was used by police to target LGBT and particularly trans women of color and their communities for years. So, through the LGBT Bar of New York's virtual legal clinic that continues to run every single Tuesday during the pandemic, you have helped LGBT folks in New York who are struggling with housing, immigration, healthcare access, and more. You have helped by mentoring law students who are in need of our professional network more than ever. So let's celebrate!
Good evening. My name is Sarah Filcher, and I'm honored to be serving as your current president of LeGaL. This past year has given me a lot of time to reflect on the future of our profession. One thing that has become clear is that the practice of law will never look the same again. We will forever miss the faces of our colleagues and friends who did not live to see the day to return to court with us. While we look to the future with hopeful eyes, we are mindful that LeGaL was founded at a time where attorneys were forced to choose between who they love or their very livelihood. We are no stranger to fighting for equality and have renewed our commitment to the principles of diversity, equity, and inclusion across all levels of the profession. As attorneys committed to these principles, we must challenge ourselves to examine all structural inequities within and preventing entrance into the practice of law. Not only does the cost of attending law school continue to rise, but also the financial burden surrounding the necessary prerequisites for a competitive application. 13 years ago, I had a dream to become a lawyer. That dream was nearly eclipsed by the financial obstacles of taking an LSAT preparation course, examination fees, and application fees. My dream was almost over before it ever truly began. Fortunately, my dad saw my dream and knew that if I could get my foot in the door, I could handle the rest. Without hesitation, he invested his hard-earned savings in my LSAT prep course. This simple act forever changed the trajectory of my life. Unfortunately, not everyone is lucky enough to have a loving and affirming parent like my dad, who was able and willing to make that sacrifice. However, that shouldn't keep anyone determined to serve our community from having the chance to one day become the next generation of bar leadership. Therefore, I am excited to announce our new upcoming initiative, the LeGaL's Scholarship Foundation. It is my sincere hope that this project will uplift pre-law and law students who will eventually become LeGaL members and enhance our overall profession. Who knows, maybe even a future LeGaL president. Inspired by my dad's example, I would be honored to write the inaugural check to sponsor our first pre-law scholar. We look forward to sharing more about this initiative in the coming months ahead. I acknowledge that expanding our existing pipeline is but one piece of the larger puzzle to advance LGBTQ+ legal professionals and continue the fight for true equality. The challenges to our clients and colleagues, both caused and exacerbated by the pandemic, have only just begun. I am confident that together we can not only strengthen our organization, but also cultivate the future of the legal profession for all LGBTQ+ attorneys. I couldn't be more proud to lead the Bar Association at such a pivotal moment. Ever since moving to New York, LeGaL has been a second home to me, and I want to ensure LeGaL remains a place where attorneys can find their career and their chosen family can find them. Tonight, I am asking all of you to join me in writing this next critical chapter in LeGaL's history. I implore my gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and non-binary siblings to continue to support our crucial work. Become a member. Volunteer for our clinics. Mentor a student. Attend our event. Match my scholarship funds. I miss you all dearly, and I count the days until we can gather in person again. Thank you all for joining us at this year's virtual gala.
I can think of no place more worthwhile of your emotional and financial contributions than LGBT bars. LGBT bars are places where LGBT people of all kinds can meet, can be safe, can have some libations, maybe even fall in love. Wait a minute. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Oh gosh. Time out. Sorry. I can think of no organization more worthwhile of your emotional and financial contributions than the LGBT Bar Association of New York. 43 years ago, the LGBT Bar Association of New York was founded, and at that time, its members could be disbarred for even being LGBT. And now, in 2021, I am wildly impressed to tell you that they are able to help over 2,000 LGBT people a week with their legal issues. That's incredible, but they can't do it without your help. So please, any amount is welcome. No amount is too small, and frankly, no amount is too large. And every dollar that you donate goes right into the foundation. Please give if you can. And hopefully, next year, we'll be doing this in person. But in the meantime, thank you to the LGBT Bar Association of New York for all that you have done for us.
It's good. Isn't it grand? Isn't it great? Isn't it swell? Isn't it fun? Isn't it? Nowadays, there's men everywhere, jazz everywhere, booze everywhere, life everywhere, joy everywhere. Nowadays, you can like the life you're living. You can live the life you like. You can even marry Harry, but mess around with Ike. And that's good. Isn't it grand? Isn't it great? Isn't it swell? Isn't it fun? Isn't it? But nothing stays. In 50 years or so, it's gonna change, you know. But oh, it's heaven nowadays. It's good, isn't it grand? Isn't it great? Isn't it swell? Isn't it fun? There's men everywhere, jazz everywhere, booze everywhere, life everywhere, joy. You can like the life you're living. You can live the life you like. You can even marry Harry, but mess around with Ike. And that's good. Isn't it grand? Isn't it great? Isn't it swell? Isn't it fun? Isn't it? But nothing stays. In 50 years or so, it's gonna change, you know. But oh, it's heaven nowadays. But oh, it's heaven nowadays. Bye.
Okay, who does not love a little moment with Michael Urie and Nick Adams? Isn't it grand? Isn't it? Yes, it is, Nick. Yes, it is. Oh, that was amazing. That's amazing. Oh, are you having fun? You having a good time? That's beautiful. I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so y'all, listen up. We are fully in this. The House just passed the Equality Act. We are making moves here in New York. We are doing the thing, but we need your help. So get those phones out and text. Get your donations in because you want that tote bag. Remember I showed you earlier? You want that tote bag, okay? Help us serve LGBT New Yorkers every single Tuesday through our legal clinic. Help our staff with our virtual legal helpline. Every single caller receives our help. Help us publish LGBT Law Notes and our weekly podcast. Oh, I'll have to tune in. That sounds great. Help us hold our annual LGBT Career Fair and Law Student Mentoring Program, and help us evaluate and train LGBT competent judges in New York. We have a great program still to come, so don't go anywhere. If you have to, go to the kitchen or use the bathroom, just take the computer with you. Keep watching. The program coming up is going to include our opportunity to celebrate 5 amazing local LGBT attorneys with the first class of our Community of Excellence Award recipients. And right now, we're going to welcome our executive director, who I love. Please virtually make some noise for Eric Lesh.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us for the LGBT Bar Association of New York's first and hopefully only virtual gala. I'm LeGaL's Executive Director, Eric Lesh. 43 years ago, a small group of lawyers and law students answered an ad that was taken out in the Village Voice. They were seeking a space to meet up as a group of LGBTQ legal professionals. To do so, they had to mail their response to a P.O. box in order to receive a meetup address. That was because this was a time when being out in the profession was virtually impossible for members of our community. Today, across the country, we are facing an unprecedented series of critical challenges. LeGaL members are there to meet each and every one of them. That sense of dedication and purpose is core to our DNA. The LGBT Bar of New York's flagship free weekly legal clinic has been running out of the LGBT Center in the Village for over 3 decades. That clinic came into being because LeGaL members were there for members of our community who were vulnerable, writing bedside wills for our family members as they were dying in the height of the HIV/AIDS crisis. That legal work continues today virtually with the help of LeGaL's staff and our volunteer network of attorneys. Our student members need our help now more than ever. LeGaL offers a mentoring program where we partner with legal professionals and pair our students up with them to get career advice. Our annual career fair last year had more attendees, employers, students than ever before. LeGaL is also committed to the success of our court system, which is under strain at the moment. Because of your work, LeGaL members serve at all levels of the judiciary. Working to this end is LeGaL's Judiciary Committee, made up of rock star attorneys. These members evaluate and educate those seeking to hold judicial office in our city and across our state. Together, LeGaL lawyers continue to push the law forward. 2021 offers so many new opportunities. For the first time in a very long time, for long years of the Trump administration, we have a pro-equality presidential administration and a pro-equality Congress ready to meet the community's needs if we're there to push. And LeGaL's legislative committee has been pushing and achieving policy success right here in New York to protect the vulnerable. You were there. Together, we passed legislation banning conversion torture. We signed GENDA into law, the ban on discrimination against transgender New Yorkers. And if that weren't enough, when non-biological parents needing help securing their basic parental rights, the Child Parent Security Act was signed into law last year, followed by the gay and trans panic ban on using defenses in court. This was also followed just recently this year by the signing of the repeal of the horrific law that allowed for the arrest for simply walking while trans. We are excited to celebrate our excellence awardees tonight. Ethan Rice, Charlie Arrowood, Deb Laloy, Dan Pepitone, and John Quinn. The pandemic doesn't know gay from straight or cis from trans, and it has not spared our community and our LeGaL family. We lost Richard Weber, our board member and my friend, very early on in the pandemic. He was committed to this organization, to its mission, and to its purpose. We mourn his loss every day, and we know so many of our members are suffering. Their families are suffering, and their loved ones are suffering. So we'd like to just take a moment, if we could, to pause and remember them with a moment of silence. Thank you. Remember as we move forward that we know what it takes to come back from unimaginable suffering and loss. It may not be as visible today, but the LGBT community and the lawyers of LeGaL are committed and as dedicated as ever. So please continue at this critical moment to give of your time, your talent, volunteer for a committee, mentor a student, renew your membership, give your money, volunteer for our lawyer referral network. There are so many ways that you can get involved. Most critically, I'll hit this again, please give financially. You are LeGaL, and with your help, we will continue this march towards justice. Thank you.
I'm Congressman Richie Torres. Congratulations to the LGBT Bar Association on your 43rd anniversary. For more than 4 decades, you have been on the front lines of fighting for LGBTQ equality in the legislatures and in the courtrooms. And you're on the ground every week, delivering free legal clinics to those in greatest need. On a personal note, as the first openly LGBTQ, Latinx, and Black member of the United States Congress, I would not be here today were it not for the heroic work of LGBTQ lawyers who fought for our equality when it mattered the most. I'm here to simply tell you, keep doing what you're doing because you're changing lives and you're saving them.
Good evening. My name is Matt Skinner, and I'm the Executive Director of the Richard C. Fela LGBTQ Commission of the New York State Court System. I was previously the Executive Director of LeGaL, and I'm thrilled to be back with you all again tonight. I was humbled and honored when Eric asked me to first chair the Selection Committee, where I was joined by Meredith Miller and Milo Primo, and now tonight introduce the winners of the Community Excellence Award. These awards recognize New York LGBTQ legal professionals across all fields of practice for their commitment to the LGBTQ community and for high achievement in the profession. The inaugural class is made up of 5 talented and service-minded attorneys. Charlie Arrowood is Name Change Project Counsel at the Transgender Legal Defense and Education Fund and Principal Attorney at Arrowood Law. Despite wearing numerous hats, Charlie is generous with their time in helping attorneys across the state become better advocates to the transgender and gender nonconforming communities. Charlie has helped ensure countless families, both in and outside of the New York City metro area, are able to obtain accurate and affirming identity documents with dignity and greater ease. Deborah Lolai is a supervising attorney of the LGBTQ Defense Project of the Bronx Defenders, a project she founded, which provides specialized representation and public defense for the Bronx Defenders LGBTQ clients on issues ranging from criminal defense and prisoner rights to immigration and civil matters. In addition to direct legal representation, Deb advocates for systemic changes through policymaking and training. Deb is also an adjunct professor at Columbia University. Daniel Pepitone is a staff attorney with Manhattan Legal Services. Daniel founded a project to improve the health of people living with HIV and LGBTQ New Yorkers. Over his career, Daniel has helped New York City's most vulnerable with disability benefits, discrimination, eviction defense, wills, and advance directives. In 2018, Daniel started a new project to support self-employed New Yorkers and small businesses. During the pandemic, Daniel reorganized the project to focus on commercial leases and evictions. John Quinn is a partner at Kaplan Hecker & Fink, LLP, and was one of the co-founders of the firm in 2017. As a litigator, John has achieved remarkable success for his clients, including tech companies, startups, celebrities and public figures, a group of Mississippi LGBTQ youth opposing the denial of a license to hold a pride parade, and a group of individuals who were defrauded by the Trump Organization. John is a mentor to LGBTQ students and a board member of the Ali Fernay Center, the largest LGBTQ youth homelessness shelter, community center, and services organization in the country. Ethan Rice is a senior attorney at Lambda Legal's Fair Courts Project. Thanks to Ethan's skill and dedication, courts from coast to coast have greater LGBTQ cultural competence, and legal standards concerning juror and judicial bias have been improved. Ethan was also the lead advocate for the successful birth certificate ordinance in New York City, and it is a model of respectful self-attestation for gender marker changes. Congratulations to these 5 exceptional LGBTQ attorneys. Thanks for all that you do for the LGBTQ community.
Hi, I'm State Senator Brad Hoylman. Thank you so much for having me this evening for the 2021 LGBT Bar of New York Gala. And a big thank you to Eric, Brett, Leah, and the Board of Directors for making tonight possible. Though we can't be together in person, I'm grateful to this community for stepping up during this difficult year. Your volunteer lawyers have provided free legal assistance to over 2,000 low-income New Yorkers and queer youth, and have bolstered the incredible work of your legal clinic, a service that has operated continuously since the height of the HIV/AIDS crisis. With so many law students impacted by the pandemic, throwing bar exams and the path to a legal career into chaos, the LGBT Bar of New York increased its student outreach and provided assistance through your Judicial Fellowship and mentoring programs. Your Judiciary Committee was also hard at work interviewing and ranking judicial candidates to ensure New York State has LGBTQ competent judges who help keep our courts fair and impartial. As we know, COVID-19 has radically changed our city and state, posing new legal, economic, and social challenges, unlike anything we've seen in a generation. In addition to not seeing our friends and families, we've lost too many loved ones and close colleagues to this public health crisis, people like longtime board member Richard Weber. We remember him fondly tonight for his dedication and tireless work to improve the lives of LGBTQ New Yorkers. He would undoubtedly be proud of the progress we've made, but know that there is so much more work to be done. I'm proud to say that just a few weeks ago, the legislature passed and the governor signed into law our legislation to repeal the so-called walking while trans ban, a possibly unconstitutional statute that was used to target transgender women of color. Last summer, in response to the outpouring of grief and anger after the deaths of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, I was proud to join my colleagues in passing a package of criminal justice reforms. This included the repeal of 50A and my bill, the Police Stat Act, a recommendation by President Obama's task force on 21st century policing, giving us the data we need to root out discriminatory policing practices is a goal of this legislation. And late last year, I was proud to pass the Judicial Diversity Reporting Act, another important step to ensuring our judicial branch reflects the rich diversity of our state. During this difficult time, I've been inspired by my neighbors and communities like the LGBT Bar Association of New York for giving a helping hand to those most in need. It gives me hope that we will come out of this pandemic more eager than ever for change to make our city and state a fairer and more just place for all. I'm grateful to count you all as partners in that fight. Thank you and have a wonderful
Thank you for joining us this evening. While we are missing the beautiful halls of Cipriani and the dinners at which we've shown our appreciation each year, in this year of virtual life, we are every bit as grateful to you for being with us, for your continuing support and the support of the many firms which each year demonstrate their commitment to supporting the LGBTQ legal community. This organization has always been in the vanguard of pushing for equality in New York. And while there is still so much to be done, in the past 2 years, with your support, we've accomplished quite a lot. Remember, as we move forward, that like no other community, we know what it takes to survive a virus, a plague that our government refused for so long to take seriously. And we know what it takes to come out stronger. With Sarah Filcher taking the reins here at LeGaL, and with our staff pushing ahead with our programs and our free legal clinics, I know that's the direction in which we're heading. I'm still fired up and ready to go. Thank you for joining us and for joining in that spirit.
Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. And I cannot wait until we're together again next year, hopefully at Cipriani, so we can celebrate the great work that is being done to help our most vulnerable communities. Thank you all for joining. And I want to remind you all that our networking platform is open. Woo! Get up into it, okay? And if you didn't receive the link to join, that's because you didn't donate. So give just $25 for LGBTQ equality and justice and join the party. Text the number below. It's right there. I see it on the side. There's a little number. Comment on the program, and thank you all again for your support. And before we close out and you go to the party, I just want to give a special thank you to the entire staff at the LGBT Bar for the incredible work they do. And I'm so grateful and honored to have been invited to join you tonight. It's been a hard year for so many of us, and I know that there's a lot going on. But by building community and coming together with organizations like this, we will get through this stronger and better for the next generation and the next generation. So keep showing up, keep doing the work. If you're financially able, please donate, tell your friends so we can help our communities in need. Thank you all. Be well and good night.